Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. We got a big boxing show for y'all today. And if we talking boxing, you know we got Byron here representing, schooling all of y'all. Before we get into this big show, make sure you go to the Spectator Sporting page on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, man. We've been enjoying all the feedback, good, bad. You disagree with us or agree, we appreciate it all. Thanks for watching. Also, if you're riding in your car, go ahead and turn on that Spotify and keep on running those numbers up on TikTok. Jaron Boots Ennis, for his second straight fight, ended it early with a first round TKO. Actually scored 2 knockdowns against Uisma Lima. The first knockdown came from a lead right uppercut, and right after that, Ennis landed a left hand right hook and he fell. Uisma Lima got up but was hurt. After that, Boots went for the kill to land the right hook to send him to the canvas for the second time. Uisma Lima got up, but Boots kept going, and referee Sean Clark said no more. The 28-year-old from Philly improves to 35-0 with 31 knockout and is now the WBA Interim Super Welterweight Champion. Uisma Lima falls to 14-2 with 10 knockouts. The 32-year-old superweight had no chance against Boots, and the question remains, who will Boots fight next? Boots did call out Vergil Ortiz after the fight, but we shall see. But, Byron, what's your impression of this fight?
I have no impression. I don't understand why y'all want to parade for him knocking out Uisma Lima. Like, did not everybody on this panel pick a knockout?
Yeah.
Like, everybody picked a knockout. And
First
just,
round? Oh, God damn.
Nah, yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't get a cookie for stomping a hole in a tomato can. You don't get a cookie for it. And everybody knew the opponent that Uisma Lima was. Eddie Hearn found this dude in the corner of Portugal. I found it funny, like, during his walkout, he just walked out. It was just music playing, and it's like he walked out. It's like he had no sense of how to be a main event fighter. Like, they playing his music, and he's like, nobody behind him, just walking to the ring. And come on, man.
He gotta get an entourage.
This was a sweet honey Eddie Hearn pick. Eddie Hearn picked this guy out of Portugal, never been to the U.S., never sniffed being relevant at 154. He was a speed bump. I'm not giving him, all the accolades and all of that crap. Like, Jaron Ennis, Crocs, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, what was pissing me off is y'all want us to play like this racial angle, or, we're hating on the American fighter. Nobody hates Crocs. Crocs hates Crocs. Like, nobody hates him. It's just that we see this potential. You've been at 147. You've been around Sean Porter. You've been around Ugas. You've been around a wealth of competition since you've been at 147. Why the hell don't you have one relevant name outside of Stanionis on your resume? So, yes, he beat another tomato can. He stumped a mud hole in him. He even invited him back to his locker room after the fight and gave him Philly cheesesteaks. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Don't run to this comment section talking shit about this fight, because, please, you gotta be kidding.
It was a very short fight. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us, I don't know I think we had about 5, 6, 7, 8th round.
I had 5.
Yeah, we both had 5.
I said 4.
Nobody thought this fight.
So
we couldn't even find tape on this guy. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about, man? Y'all pissing me off today.
But it ended way earlier than even we thought. What was your impression of this fight, Adi?
Well, Boots Ennis got into switch hitter mode very early in this fight, going from orthodox to southpaw, and he showed no brotherly love with that vicious right hand uppercut, which hurt Lima in this fight, and he could never recover from that. And the fight ended super early in the first round. The boxing world didn't know much about Uisma Lima before this fight, but somehow, some way, Eddie Hearn made it seem like he was going to be some kind of formidable opponent for Boots Ennis. But now Lima will go back to being this obscure fighter who came to America for the first time to be a nice highlight on the Jaron Boots Ennis KO mixtape.
Taking that paycheck with him back though.
Yeah.
Oh, and he got had two perfectly tasty Philly cheesesteaks. Like, he gave him Philly cheesesteaks after the fight. Like, who the fuck gets knocked out, goes to the guy's locker room that knocks him out, and accepts two Philly cheesesteaks? Like, come on, man.
I was reminded by the, Eddie Hearn, he also has Edgar Berlanga in his Matchroom stable as well. And Edgar Berlanga fought Jonathan Gonzalez Ortiz. It was a similar thing. Jonathan Gonzalez Ortiz kind of came out of nowhere. He was in prison, and then Berlanga just destroyed him. You know,
he had been out for like 12 years or something.
Yeah. So Eddie Hearn knows how to find these guys.
He's a master of deception. Yeah. If he was a Transformer, he would be a Decepticon.
So let's get okay. So obviously this was no contest. I mean, I think we all predicted that this was going. We didn't hear nothing about it, and it lived up to exactly what we thought it was going to happen. Boots annihilated him. Right. So now let's get to the real discussion here, Adi. Let's talk about what is Jaron Boots' next move. I know he called out Vergil Ortiz. Montez Aliyev called him out. He had other people calling him out. Right. So what's going on? What is Boots' next move?
Well, Eddie Hearn is making it seem like it's all up to Vergil Ortiz and the Golden Boy Promotions to finally make this Jaron Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz fight happen early in 2026. But there's an Erickson Lubin problem.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. And Lubin is no Lima. All right? So we got to see what Vergil Ortiz is going to do about that. And so many times, we want to see this big matchup. We get excited about a fight, but then the fighters are like, wait, hold up, wait a minute, let me fight this other guy first.
Yeah.
And then they fight the other guy, somebody lose, like we get excited about Anthony Joshua fighting Tyson Fury, but then Daniel Dubois spoiled that.
Said, nope, y'all won't be fighting on my watch.
Right. Caleb Plant was supposed to fight the hitman Jamal Charlo. They had bad history, but then Caleb Plant lost to Jose Resendez, all right, and spoiled that. The rematch, my man Devin Haney. The rematch with King Ryan Garcia. Then Ryan Garcia ended up losing to Rolly Romero to spoil that big rematch that was supposed to have happened, okay? So hopefully Erickson Lubin doesn't give Vergil Ortiz his first L and spoil this Boots Ortiz.
Boots said he'll whoop him too if he got to.
Oh, Lubin?
Yeah.
He said he'll beat Lubin?
He said a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Crocs. We don't believe what you say at the end of fights.
He said, I'm ready for whatever. That's what Boots. Hey, I'm just telling you what he said. He said he's ready for whatever.
Yeah. Well, Lubin will have the WBC interim belt if he does beat Ortiz.
The battle of the interims.
But
who the hell cares?
I don't want to see
fight a champion.
If Lubin beats Ortiz, I don't want to see or hear Eddie Hearn saying, "Oh, we had to give Uisma Lima a rematch because."
We just got an email from Portugal, and it seems like Uisma Lima is talking shit. So we're gonna bend the block on him.
We don't want to hear that. It's way too much competition at 154. The WBC title, the primary belt, will be on the line with this Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora fight. It's being postponed. They're supposed to fight later on. They were supposed to fight in late October, but it's going to be postponed. So Boots can fight the winner of that fight. Now, Terrence Bud Crawford, I don't believe he's going to get a fight with him because Bud already said he's not coming back down to 154. But he does have the WBA belt. Bud Crawford has that, but he's probably going to have to vacate that belt. All right? But a German fighter, Abbas Baruch, he just defeated a Cuban boxer, Tellez, for that WBA interim belt. That's something, and he's probably going
fighting him. That's a title fight.
That's a title fight. That would be a legitimate contender for him to fight that German guy. And also, maybe one of these days, we're going to see somebody finally fight the Russian boogeyman, Bakhram Murtazalia. Okay, because it's been a year. He beat Timzu a year ago. Okay, I mean, is he that scary? Somebody fight him. Somebody's going to fight him.
Boots, if you sounded real good at the interviews after the post fight.
Always sound
make it happen.
He right there.
Because what if Ortiz does lose? What if he does lose?
Chaos.
If he does lose,
because it is possible he could lose.
I mean, you got Bachram.
Yeah, they'll go after Lubin.
Yeah.
They'll go after Lubin. They'll go after Lubin before they go after anybody with a belt.
And then
because they don't want Zayas right now.
Xander Zayas.
They don't want him. Yeah. They don't want. They claim they want him. They don't want him. They don't want Murtazaliev. You know, maybe the winner of Fundora. Thurman, yeah. But I'm thinking more like the PBC can't sell that fight. So yeah, I think Thurman will be his next opponent. That's just me.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's a lot of options for him out there. Israel Madrimov is another one. So we'll see.
Byron, I know you was kind of chiming in anyway, but you know, but it's okay. So explain. You know what I'm saying? What do you think his next move should be? What would you like to see?
Winning this fight is like, you know, taking over Spokane, Washington, and then announcing that you are the king of the United States of America.
Damn, why you damn?
Like that's what
we love y'all, Spokane.
That's what Jaron Crocs Ennis did on Saturday night. You know, you got two of the most corrupt entities in boxing on you know, behind the scenes in both of these fighters. I'm talking Vergil Ortiz and Crocs Ennis. Eddie Hearn and De La Hoya, two of the biggest fucking liars in the game, and I cannot bank on a fight coming to fruition between these two entities. You know, they claim they have these negotiations, but just like Adi alluded to, you never know what's going to happen. And Lubin is a quality opponent, and he's someone that can win that fight. And if he does win, it's complete chaos. Yes. You know, Eddie Hearn will say that they'll fight the winner of that, but it might be something lucrative, you know, and lesser competition. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the Keith Thurman fight may possibly be that. That's after this fight. I don't understand why these guys don't want to fight top competition. You know, Jaron Ennis goes in the ring and announces that he is now the king of 154 after beating an obscure tomato can that no one has ever heard of, nobody knows. And literally every name out of his mouth is a fighter that he could have set up a fight in the past 2 seasons with. So if you watch the sport, if you're invested in the sport, you know how comical it is, you know how full of shit he is, and you know that he's probably going to take the lesser path of resistance, you know, to finally get to a championship fight. This dude has only been in 1 championship fight, and he's literally setting us up for an interim fight because Ortiz doesn't even have a fucking belt. What I would prefer is, after this fight, go after a champion. You got all these champions with fights lined up. Announce that you want to be the contender to one of these fights and fight that guy. At this point, if you're this good, why do we have to wait to see you against Vergil Ortiz? And that's just flat out. Until one of you decide to get a belt, I'm really not interested in that fight. I want to see Ortiz go after a belt, and I want to see Crocs Ennis go after a belt as well. And if you both get belts, then I'd like to see you fight to create a unification bout at 154. But, you know, I don't live in Imagination Land. We talk about Imagination Land a lot on this show. I don't live there. I really think with this Fundora ghost injury, is it real? Is it not real? Keith Thurman is ready to fight now. I think he can make a deal early, first quarter, faster than Ortiz ever will with De La Hoya backing him. Because if Ortiz is successful in this next bout and he is impressive, De La Hoya is going to hold him as close to his bosom as he can. Listen, the Golden Boy Protection Agency is absolutely real, and he's going to want a lion's share of that bout. And I don't think Eddie Hearn is going to want to give it to him. So I think he sets up a fight with Thurman some kind of way. And the thing is, we're going to buy into it because Keith Thurman will again be the biggest name on his resume. Yeah. And that's sad. A gatekeeper being the biggest name on your resume, but you being the man at 154. I don't think Crocs pushes himself until he has nowhere else to go but to push himself. That's just my opinion.
I think a lot of it seems like in boxing, I could be wrong, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these promoters and whoever it is, they try to build up all this anticipation. You know what I'm saying? Anticipation.
How much anticipation do we
But Adi, you alluded to it earlier. You said, like, you know, you try to do this, so, I'm gonna fight this guy, and then somebody messes up the plan. Sometimes you gotta strike when the iron is hot. If the fans are ready for Boots, Ortiz, or whoever it may be, make the fight happen, because you can't just say, well, let's do this first and do this first, because there's other great boxers out there. Someone can derail the plans, no doubt about it.
Especially the promoters.
So, Adi, just what's your final thoughts on this fight not going forward for Boots and Uisma Lima? I don't know if we ever gonna see him again, but
Yeah.
I mean, we might. No, I don't think we're gonna see him. That probably was the last time we ever gonna see him on the main card. But what's your thought?
Yeah, his first visit to America didn't go too well.
Yeah.
Well, I am excited for the junior middleweight division.
Okay.
And I think it'll get real interesting if Iron Man Jermell Charlo returns. Okay. If he returns in 2026, he was at the Bud Crawford Canelo fight talking like he was about to come back. He had a fight on the horizon coming through. And so he'd make it even deeper. So it's a very deep division. And 2026, I'm ready to see what's going to happen. Is Boots really the king? Is Fedora the king? Is Ortiz the king? Is the Russian boogeyman, Bakram Murtazalia, the king? It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Byron?
I mean, fight Charlo. I mean, if you want to avoid champions, fight Charlo. Like that's a fight that I would love to see Boots fight. It's just I'm at the point with Crocs. You know, I'm sorry I keep calling him Boots. I gotta let his new nickname kind of settle in. But Crocs,
He's comfortable.
I'm to the point with Crocs where I no longer want to see him in these type of fights where he's the overwhelming favorite. You know, I don't want to see him fight in Philly no more, and that's not a shot at Philly, but it's like, you know, fight outside of that venue. I'm sick of the glaze that he receives fighting on the zone and fighting in Philly. You know, they glaze their opponents over so much, and it's just like trying to sell these guys to the public like they're resistance, and they really not. So in 2026, I need to see him fight big names. I don't want to see him fight anybody that I have to do this extensive search to figure out what they are and what they can do in the ring.
You got
like
special forces.
If it's not Fundora, Thurman, Ortiz, Zayas, it's like I don't care about what Crocs got going on. He's 30+0. He's announced that he's the king of the division, but it looks like Murtazaliev is really the king at 154 because nobody wants to fight this guy, and all he did was destroy Tim Tszyu. And what about Tim Tszyu? Is Tim Tszyu still in the realm of possibility? Who knows? But Crocs is not going to get a pass for these fights anymore. I think this fight is kind of like the line in the sand. So you either fight a champion or just become yesterday's news.
But I just think it's funny how a lot of these fighters at 154, they talk shit about Xander Zayas, they talk shit about Boots and Ortiz and Fundora and Thurman, but no one talks shit about Bakram Murtazalia. I don't hear no fighters saying, "Oh, you bitch ass motherfucker! Oh, you weak as hell! I'll whoop your ass." I don't hear nobody talking shit about Bakram.
And he went on Twitter immediately after the Boots the Crocs call out and was like, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want to say my name, then send a contract. But I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn was right in the room and was like, "No, we don't want to go that route. Not yet, Crocs."
If if Boots really want to prove himself, that should be the next fight.
That'd be wild.
Bakram
versus Boots would be wild.
That'd be a great fight. That'd be must see TV. So I
think he's scared.
Yeah, we shall see. You've been watching. Before I go, Boots 35-0, 31 knockouts. First round, so that's 2 fights in a row. He ended earlier, so now, like Byron said, he's the king of 154.
The biggest name on his resume is Stanionis. Stanionis.
And he said, bring them all. He said, I'll fight whoever, whenever, however.
1 championship fight under his belt. Stanionis.
You've been watching Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach, along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. Shout out to Byron. Make sure y'all go to Spectator Sporting. Subscribe to that page. Like, comment, keep running up on TikTok. If you're in your car, go ahead and turn on Spotify and listen to. In the meantime, in between time, we out. Peace.